everyone, let's talk makeup. And I am filming at a totally different time of the day than I normally do. So we'll see how this goes. Since I'm not doing any kind of tutorial or anything where how my makeup looks or application is important, I thought this would be alright. So today I have an update on the Wet n Wild Pro brush set. So everybody's been going a little bit crazy over these brushes. Because they just released, or they released this silver line, and now they've announced that they are coming out, or have already come out with the rose gold line. So these brushes, it's really cool to have brushes with these kinds of colors. And Wet n Wild is an affordable brand. This set retails for $30. I found mine at Walgreens, and Walgreens has been having some promotions in which you could get it for $15. So overall, this is an affordable brush line, and I did do a video with my first impressions and kind of demoing the brushes, so I'll link that down below in case you're interested. But I said in that video that with brushes, it's not enough to kind of do first impressions on them. You really have to try them for a long period of time in order to see how good they actually are. So this is I believe this is at least 1 month update, maybe even longer. Go ahead and put that down below once I check when the other video was posted. But over the course of at least a month, I've been trying out these brushes, using them not every day because I do have other brushes and I rotate through my brushes, but I've been making an extra effort to pay attention to these brushes in particular. So I have now washed them several times and can give you kind of fuller thoughts and review on them. So first off, I'll cut to the chase. I'm not sure that this kit is worth it, especially for $30. I think if you're buying this full price, it is not a kit that I would recommend. $15, okay, maybe. But I would actually say it might be worth it to wait until they release these brushes individually, because it looks like they will be. And large part of that is because I really don't like their eye brushes. I like a majority of their face brushes, but overall, because I didn't like enough of these brushes, I don't think that ultimately it was worth it for me. And I think it's something, there are a few things that you should consider when you're thinking about purchasing these. So first off, some of these brushes are dirty because I've been using them, but they do wash nicely. You don't get a whole lot of bristle fallout, or even when wearing them. I have certain brushes that just lose bristles every single time I wash them, every single time I use them, and that is super annoying. I hate those brushes. I end up not using those. These do not have that problem. They are very soft, not super soft. Like the softest brushes I own are probably by Cosmetics, so they're not quite that soft, but they are soft. They're not going to be scratchy or rough on your eyes or your face. My problem with some of these eye brushes, the smaller one is fine. This one, because I just use it like for the under eye shadow. But some of these brushes, like this one that's flat, I really don't have a ton of use for. So that's why I'm like, okay, that one is a no for me. This one's a yes. These two, unfortunately, are no. It's like the blender brushes, and they are just very patchy. And I use them with kind of my drugstore shadows, and I've used them with my super high-end shadows. Like I use them with Natasha Denona, I use them with Visart, and every single time I use these shadows, I feel like they apply the eyeshadow very patchy, rather than a nice, even, smooth application. So while the brushes themselves are super, super nice, they don't apply the shadow the way I want. So that's why they're a no for me. Most of the face brushes I do really like, with the exception of this contour brush. So you can see it's a flat, kind of long, thinnish brush, and I don't like it because it does a really sharp contour, and I'm not into a sharp contour. So if you are, then this is something that you will like, but for me it's a no. On the other hand, some of my favorite of the face brushes are this highlight brush. Let's see if I can show it to you. This is just really nice, perfect size for highlight application. I've been using it a lot and I'm really enjoying it. The blush brush here is, it's okay. It's not my absolute favorite, but it does a really nice job. And I think for me, it might just be a little bit smaller I think it's just a little bit smaller for the way I like to apply my blush, but it's still very good. I have been using it and enjoying it. So none of these have like names or their use on here, so I'm trying to remember what they all are. So this is the fluffy powder brush. This one's also very nice. I've used it to apply powder, high-end drugstore powder. It does a really nice applying powder. It will mostly give you kind of a light application of it, which is how I like to use my powder, so it's perfect for me. This brush, let me see, what is this one supposed to be? Oh, the fluffy blending brush. I think this is what this is supposed to do, just to blend, so I don't get a ton of use out of this one. I think the way I have used it a couple times is just for a denser application of powder foundation, and for that it worked fine. And the last brush here, this is the foundation brush, and this was a really interesting brush because it has kind of a dent inside. Hopefully you can see that. It has a little like dip. And this is a nice foundation brush, but the dip does nothing. Like, I don't think the dip is the reason why you should get it, right? Because you can apply your foundation on the dip and then spread it, but I didn't feel like that made any kind of difference in application. I also just did what I normally do, which is just my foundation on my face and then go in with the brush. And again, I didn't feel like the dip made any kind of difference, but it's a nice brush. It worked well. I would use it again. My only complaint about it is that it didn't wash well. With all the other brushes, I felt like I could get the product out of the brush, but this one, the foundation kind of stained the bristles in this brush, and so it has a kind of creamy stain in it, which is very annoying. And it's not like I wasn't using good brush cleaners that usually take everything out. Foundation is always tricky to get out of these brushes, so I don't kind of blame it so much. But if you're buying these brushes because of the sleek look and the white bristles, then it's something you might consider that, you know, the foundation is likely to stain the foundation brush. So overall, I would say, because for me, I didn't like, you know, what I said, 1, 2, 3, 4. I really didn't like 4 of these brushes. To me, it's not worth $30, but it might be for you. Hopefully, I've given you enough information that you can make up your own mind. My recommendation would be to wait till they release these individually, because they are very gorgeous brushes. If you want to use them to like take Instagram pictures and all of that, I think these are really gorgeous. I think that the face brushes are much better than the eye brushes. The eye brushes really have not been working for me. So that's just my 2 cents on it. Let me know if you got them and what your experience has been with them. If maybe, because maybe it's me, maybe I'm not using these properly, but I don't know. You'll have to let me know. But that is it for me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.